You're listening to St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
What's up, everybody? Bob Walters here. Welcome to St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports. The game is underway. We are at the under 16 timeout. It is 11-10. Georgetown with an early lead. They've hit their buckets. It's senior night here at Madison Square Garden for St. John's. That means it's basically Zuby Ejiofor night, as he has been, the main catalyst, candidate for Big East Player of the Year, and has just been everything at this turnaround over the last couple of years for St. John's and for Rick Pitino, as they had senior night. They have a couple seniors, though. Sellers is a senior, Osiah Sellers, and Hopkins is a graduate senior, and so is Dylan Mitchell. So all of them being honored tonight. We are at the under 16, like I said, the under 16 timeout. It is an 11-10 Georgetown lead. Georgetown comes into this game 13-16. Really not a good year for Ed Cooley, who's been off to a rough start with Georgetown and this team over his first couple of years here after coming over from Providence, where he coached a whole bunch of years over at Providence. So Georgetown 13-16, St. John's 23-6, one game behind in the win column. They are even in the loss column with UCONN, one game behind in the win column, which they can make up tonight as they try to even up things in the top of the Big East. Two free throws missed right there by St. John's. They get the rebound back. Sellers has it on the right wing. Top to Darling. Feds it inside, and a foul, a hook call against Georgetown is a good entry pass right there by Darling. Dylan Darling has played really well for St. John's. He averages 7 points a game, 2.5 rebounds. Ejiofor, though, of course, the big star for this team, averaging 15, almost 16 points a game, 53% from the field. St. John's coming off a big win over Villanova just a couple days ago. They forced 16 turnovers in a blowout win. Here's the inbound. Darling has it now over to Mitchell. Mitchell, top of the key. Right wing to Hopkins. Hopkins into the key, down to Ejiofor. Ejiofor facing up his defender, throws it across to the corner. Here comes a three from the far corner, no good. Rebound to Georgetown, they have it, and here comes the Hoyas. Mack will bring it up for Hoyas across the line. Being guarded by Darling in the front court. 11-10 Georgetown with the lead, 5 minutes gone by first half. Georgetown with the ball. Ford has it. Ford puts it on the ground. Up top now to Mulready. Mulready down low. Swings it around. Now here's Mack again for three, and it's way short. Nothing but air on that one. Out of bounds, St. John's basketball. And just a bad shot there. They had their big man. It's a nightmare to pronounce his name. So it's Hala Fanuya. Hala Fanuya is Julius Hala Fanuya is the big number 11 for Georgetown. So they put some pressure on the ball in the backcourt as Darling gets it across the timeline. Waist-high dribble between the legs. Now to Hopkins. Hands it off to Sellers. St. John's down to a point just over 5 minutes into the game. Darling, right wing corner. Sellers fakes the shot. Now left elbow shot. No good off the front of the rim. Rebound. Georgetown. Cold start for shooting for St. John's here in this one. Georgetown 5-13 in the Big East Conference this year. Really just have not played well at all. Disappointing season as they came in with a good roster. A lot of talent, but they just couldn't put it together. Georgetown with the ball. Top of the key. Williams has it. Now it's Abraham. Abraham puts it on the floor, gets it back to Williams for three, and he knocks it down. And it's a 4-point Georgetown lead. St. John's just 1 for 5 from the field. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 for 5 from three-pointer. Here's another three. This is Hopkins, and he in and out, rims around and out. Georgetown will take it. Georgetown into the front court with a 4-point lead, 13:40 to go. Williams with the ball for the Hoyas. Being guarded by Hopkins, right wing. Picks up his dribble. He's trapped now. Gets it down now to Lindira. Lindira backs in on Ejiofor. Now he's double teamed. Throws a long pass to number 45 for a three. No good. That's Mulready, number 45 for Georgetown, and it's St. John's ball as they bring it into the front court. Here's Darling. Darling right wing to Hopkins. Hopkins holds it, being guarded by Harris Smith. Now Ejiofor at the top of the key. Darling wide open to take a three. He pauses, gets himself together, and knocks it down. Dylan Darling had all the time in the world. He got his feet together, he settled himself, and he took a three, and nothing but the bottom of the net. And St. John's cuts the lead to 14-13 as Georgetown brings it into the front court. Oh, Hopkins went for the steal. He doesn't get it. Into the lane, driving, and a block. It was Fort that tried to go up for it. St. John's gets it on the rebound. After the block, Darling into the front court. Darling all the way to the hole, and he's rejected. Out of bounds. St. John's basketball will keep it right here on this end. 14-13. Darling blocks at both ends. Ejiofor had one for St. John's on Fort. The ball was picked up then by Darling. He went the length of the floor, tried to take it himself, and he was blocked at the other end, out of bounds. St. John's with the ball. The inbound, and a good inbound pass. Feeds it right side. Now it's Sannon, and he misses a three. And it's out of bounds. Who's it going to do? Who's it going to be? It's going to be Georgetown ball, last touched by St. John's. 14-13 is your score. 12 and a half to go. First half. Georgetown inbounding. St. John's playing defense. Full court. They get it in. Across the timeline comes Williams. Williams all the way to the hole, and he's short on the layup. Bodies go flying, but the ball comes to St. John's, and they bring it the other way. Darling has it. Darling looks, drives into the paint, spins, left hand, finger roll is good. Oh, pretty move by Dylan Darling. He's on fire here tonight. He's got 5 already in the early going. Back comes Georgetown in an alley-oop, and it's thrown down by Fort. Bad defense by St. John's. They never got back. And it's 16-15 Georgetown. St. John's hit. The Darling went all the way, made a nice move in the paint, spun around, hit the finger roll, and St. John's never got back on defense. Georgetown took it the length of the court in about 2 seconds. Now St. John's with the ball. Mitchell has it. Mitchell into the paint. Mitchell spins, turned left-hand hook shot, no good. Rebound to Georgetown. They got it. As the Hoyas are hanging with St. John's here in the first half. 10 rebounds for St. John's, 9 for Georgetown. St. John's not a great start here. 6 for 16 in the field, from the field. Inside pass, rebound, and a turnover. St. John's has it ahead to Jackson. Jackson's going to take it. He's stripped, and it's out of bounds off of Jackson's leg. Out of bounds, turnover to Georgetown. They will get the ball when we get back. 16-15, 11-16 to go. You're listening to St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
Legends are born in March, and this March will be no different. Locked Up Sports is your home for all the madness. Join us March 11th through 14th for all the Big East tournament action. Our selection show on the 15th, then keep it locked in starting March 19th. From practice floors to packed arenas, from the bracket reveal to the final buzzer, we've got every moment covered. It all starts here. LockedUpSports.com. Stream and subscribe today.
What's up, NFL fans? Quarterback Josh Dobbs here. You may know me as the Pastronaut.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
I've always loved space and football. Growing up, some people told me I had to choose. But here's the deal. You can be great at more than one thing, and getting involved in STEM opens up your world to a universe of opportunities in life. Space isn't just for the astronauts.
It's for all of us. It's not just for engineers like myself. It's for teachers,
students,
designers, mechanics, scientists,
and millions of football fans across the world.
3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
Get inspired and get involved today. There are STEM programs and science centers available in your community, so be sure to check out spaceforall.us to learn more and get started.
This is my time.
After all, there are no limits when there are footprints on the moon.
There ain't no doubt in my mind. This is my time.
Find your place in space. Space for all.
You're listening to St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
All right, welcome back here, everybody. St. John's trails Georgetown 16-13 at Madison Square Garden. I'm Bob Walters. This is St. John's on Locked Up Sports, the official internet home of the Big East tournament. Speaking of the Big East tournament, gets underway next week, or actually on Tuesday of the following week, but on the 11th through the 14th, it is the Big East tournament, one of my favorite times of the year at Madison Square Garden, one of the best conference tournaments. Usually it's a down year for the Big East, so this year maybe not as good, but there is excellent teams, St. John's being one of them. UConn, of course, a threat to win a national championship. They are one of them. Villanova's not a bad team. And you got some young teams that could cause some trouble and maybe get some upsets in Creighton, in Marquette maybe, and even maybe this Georgetown team surprises somebody. You never know what's going to happen. It is March. So 11:16 to go. It's going to be Georgetown ball again. St. John's putting the pressure on the defense. Georgetown gets it in. They get it across. Williams behind the back dribble into the paint. Takes it all the way off the glass and in with the right hand. St. John's is getting burned on that full court press that they're putting on. It's now 18-15. Hoyas with the lead. 11 minutes to go. Top of the key. Jackson drives into the paint. Now it's Ibana Ayo is on the floor. Ejiofor goes off the glass and in with the left hand. Zuby Ejiofor. And St. John's cuts it again to 18-17. Again with the pressure. They get it in easy across the timeline. Comes Mack. Mack has it for Georgetown. Top of the key. They set up their offense now here. 15 to shoot. Between the leg dribble. Right side. Williams has it. Back to Mack. Mack being guarded by Sellers up top. Finds Mulready a three, and he got it. Oh, Mulready with a couple of big threes. That one a long one. And it's a 4-point Georgetown lead. 21-17. Mulready is looking hot tonight with his two straight three-pointers. He's 2 of 3 from long range. St. John's with the ball. Sellers has it. Sellers drives. Kicks it out. Mitchell looks. Left-hand hook shot. No good off the rim. Rebound to Fort. And here comes Georgetown. Georgetown with the ball and a 4-point lead. Past the midway point of the first half. Here's Mack. Looks, drives, free throw line, spins, turns, puts up a high floating shot and buries it. And a timeout, St. John's, as Georgetown is feeling it here. 23-17. They have the lead, 9:36 to go in the first half. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
You're locked into Locked Up Sports, the internet home of the Big East Tournament. We'll take you from Selection Sunday through every bracket buster all the way to the Final Four. Keep it locked in.
Baseball is right around the corner. Warm weather, blue skies, and the crack of the bat. Spring training is here. Nobody covers the Yankees. Nobody covers the Mets like Locked Up Sports. Daily expert takes all season long the best baseball coverage on the internet.
I'm Bob Walters, host of Locked Up Sports, the best New York sports talk on the internet. Join myself and Brett Grasso every week as we break down all the happenings from the best sports town in the world and have conversations with some of the biggest names in New York sports, including former Mets general manager Steve Phillips.
We need a star player, but let's go get Beyonce. And I finally got approval to do it.
The man who revolutionized special teams in the NFL, Coach Mike Westhoff.
But, all the things that he got accused of, he did them all. I know. Trust me, I know. He did them all.
And New York sports talk legend Joe Beningo, just to name a few.
But they gave this guy $35 million a year, $350 million for 10 years. What the hell were they thinking with this guy?
Yeah. If you're a sports fan, this is the podcast for you. We have all the insights, laughs, and entertaining perspectives you crave. Whether you're looking for a funny take on your favorite team or informative.
Sellers knocks down a 3 for St. John's. Sorry about that. Late getting back. It's 23-20. Georgetown with the lead. 9 minutes to go. First half. Here's now Georgetown with the ball. Abraham has it in the front court. Abraham down low and off the glass and in. And it's Halafanuya with the basket. He's averaging 10 points a season. That's his first bucket of the game. St. John's in the near court. Prey now in for St. John's. And Jackson has it up top. Jackson hands it off to Sellers. Now Sannon looks for 3, decides against it, puts it on the floor, drives into the paint. Right hand goes up, is fouled. Let's see if they call that foul on the floor or in the process of shooting. I think he's going to get to shoot. What did they call it on St. John's? Yeah, they did. They called a push-off, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, nope. St. John's gets the ball, inbounds it. Sannon into the paint. Sannon pump fake up. Too short, no good. Foul called. And it's a, nope, they're going to call foul on St. John's. This one is on St. John's. 5-point Georgetown lead. Slow start for St. John's, coming off a real big, good win over Villanova, where they played great defense and they just dominated the game from, pillar to post. Georgetown 5-point lead in the ball, inbounding left wing. Here's Williams taking it all the way, goes reverse. Prey was guarding him, and it's out of bounds. And it's off of Williams. Out of bounds. St. John's basketball going the other way, so a turnover there. Williams down on the floor, still slow to get up. He tried to go up and under. Prey with good defense, put his hands, he went straight up, and he went tried to go up and under with the layup, Michael Jordan type of up and under, and he hit the bottom of the rim. It was ugly, but Williams, he's got 9 points already tonight, so he's played, he's got confidence. He's played very well to start this one. St. John's with the ball, trails by 5, 8:15 to go. First half. Right wing. Sannon has it. Finds Hopkins. Hopkins puts it on the floor. Drives in the paint right side. Goes up, and it's no good with the rebound. Is handled on the floor by St. John's. We got a tie-up. I believe it's a tie-up. The possession arrow goes to Georgetown, if that's the call. It is. So it'll be Georgetown ball, I believe. Yep, it's going to be a tie-up. St. John's got the rebound on the ground, and Georgetown, they couldn't get a timeout. Georgetown was able to tie him up there before the timeout was called. And it's going to be their ball. 8:03 to go. Inbounding. St. John's still with the big pressure, full court pressure on defense, as Williams brings it waist-high dribble across the timeline. Right wing now for Mack. Mack has it, being guarded by Jackson. Mack puts it on the floor between the legs, drives, pulls up, now finds Fort. Fort has it stripped away by Hopkins, gets it back, and they'll regroup. Williams has it. Williams between the leg dribble, keep going. Sannon on the guarding him. Right elbow jumper is good. Oh, pretty shot by Jeremiah Williams. It's 27-20. Georgetown with the lead. Williams with 11 points already tonight. Prey has it now in the front court for St. John's. Hands it off to Sannon. Sannon thinks about a three, then thinks better of it. Drives now into the paint. Sannon right hand goes up with it. No good off the back of the iron. Prey with the rebound. And a foul called as Prey was getting smacked around by Georgetown. And listen, Jeremiah Williams is on fire tonight. He's got 11 points already. St. John's is really getting beat. The better team so far here has been Georgetown. 27-20, 7:15 to go. First half, this is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
Baseball is right around the corner. Warm weather, blue skies, and the crack of the bat. Spring training is here. Nobody covers the Yankees. Nobody covers the Mets like Locked Up Sports. Daily expert takes all season long the best baseball coverage on the internet.
You're locked into Locked Up Sports, the internet home of the Big East Tournament. We'll take you from Selection Sunday through every bracket buster all the way to the Final Four. Keep it locked into Locked Up Sports for the
legends are born in March, and this March will be no different. Locked Up Sports is your home for all the madness. Join us March 11th through 14th for all the Big East tournament action. Our selection show on the 15th, then keep it locked in starting March 19th. From practice floors to packed arenas, from the bracket reveal to the final buzzer, we've got every moment covered. It all starts here. LockedUpSports.com. Stream and subscribe today.
What's up, NFL fans? Quarterback Josh Dobbs here. You may know me as the Pastronaut.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down. I'm too fly. This is my time.
I've always loved space and football. Growing up, some people told me I had to choose. But here's the deal. You can be great at more than one thing, and getting involved in STEM opens up your world to a universe of opportunities in life. Space isn't just for the astronauts.
It's for all of us. It's not just for engineers like myself. It's for teachers,
students,
designers, mechanics, scientists,
and millions of football fans across the world.
3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time. I'm on the rise, can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
Get inspired and get involved today. There are STEM programs and science centers available in your community, so be sure to check out spaceforall.us to learn more and get started. After all, there are no limits when there are footprints on the moon. Find your place in space. Space for all.
You're listening to St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
All right, 27-20, Georgetown here at Madison Square Garden has the lead, 7:15 to play in the first half. St. John's has really not played well, but Jeremiah Williams for Georgetown has just taken this game over. He has 11 points. He's hitting threes. He's driving to the hoop. He's doing pretty much everything right. And listen, they played better than St. John's so far here in the first half. It's a 7-point lead. The St. John's obviously cannot lose this game and then still hope for a shot at the Big East regular season championship. I mean, if that sort of thing matters to you, it's all about the Big East tournament and after that with the NCAA, obviously, as far as I'm concerned. But it's something you want to get. You get to hold up a trophy, right? You get to put a banner up. And you don't want to lose to Georgetown here. Georgetown's not a good team. They are only 5-13 in the conference, 13-16 overall. St. John's inbounding the ball, and they almost throw it away. Darling has it left wing, puts it on the floor. Darling inbound, interior pass down to Prey. Prey he traveled. Prey traveled, shuffled his feet before he put it on the floor. Turnover for St. John's. And Georgetown, that 5-13 team is playing a much better looking than a 5-13 team so far here in the first 13 minutes of the half. Prey will come out now. Just a bad travel right there. You cannot have that. St. John's cannot be turning the ball over like this. So here's Georgetown with the ball now. Mack has it into the front court, being guarded by Darling. Mack puts it on the floor, right hand into the paint, pulls up, nothing there. Hits it out to Iwachukwu. And now it's Williams. Williams again drives, pulls up, right elbow jumper, no good off the front of the rim. Rebound to Darling, and St. John's will take it up the court, into the front court. Oh, long pass, good catch by Ejiofor. Back out. Oh, he throws it away, and another turnover. Oh, he had Sellers open, who was about ready to take a three on the wing, and he missed him by about 2 feet. Another turnover for St. John's. It is their fourth turnover of the half. Only one for Georgetown. So a lot of unforced errors by St. John's. 27-20, 6:20 to go. First half. Mack has it up near the label center court. Gives it. Here comes Williams. Williams drives, pulls up just outside the arc, and he lays it. Oh, it goes around everything but. And the rebound to Sannon. Sannon into the front court. Sannon now Darling. Darling to Ejiofor, top of the key. Ejiofor holds the ball above his head, looking, gives it back to Darling. Darling, a long three from the left wing. No good. Back of the iron, too strong. Here comes Georgetown. They're going to run. They got numbers. Into the front court. Here's a pass, and it's a foul as Iwachukwu goes up for it, and he's fouled. He'll be shooting 2 free throws. St. John's again not getting back on defense. Good fast break by Georgetown. They missed the three, St. John's did, and then right back the other way. Georgetown came running. And it'll be Vince Iwachukwu at the line. He averages 11 a game. He's a 73% free throw shooter, and he misses the first one. St. John's has won the last 5, including one earlier this year by 12 in this matchup. It's, of course, an all-time classic matchup. They played a ton of games. Never right here the amount of number. Played about 109 games against each other. So, these schools know each other very well. St. John's 7-point lead as he missed both free throws. Darling double-teamed in the corner. He's trapped. He gets it out to Ejiofor, top of the key. Hopkins has it. Hopkins thought about a three, then he puts it on the ground. Drive just inside the three-point line. Jumper, no good. Rebound to Georgetown. And the cold shooting for St. John's continues. 5:20 to go, first half, 27-20. Hoyas with the lead. Senior night here at Madison Square Garden for the Johnnies. Mack gets it down low. It is Iwachukwu looking double teamed. He puts it up. It's batted around in the air. It's loose. And it's St. Johns who comes up with it. Sannon's got it. Ahead to Darling on the right wing. Darling into the front court. Darling down low to Ejiofor. Ejiofor up with the right hand. No good. He missed the layup. Oh, he blew an easy layup right there. Nothing going down for St. Johns. Here comes Mack the other way into the paint. Bumps Darling, and it's an offensive foul. He came in hard with the shoulder, pushed Darling back about 3 feet. He almost lost his balance. As he went in hard with the shoulder there, he extended the left arm and pushed him away. And it's a charge, turnover, second turnover by Georgetown here in the first half. Thank you for joining us, everybody. This is St. John's Basketball Locked Up Sports. Don't forget, you can check out our stuff. We're on all social media. We're on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts, you can find our show. 27-20, St. John's with the ball, really struggling here in the first half. Sellers has it, left wing now for Mitchell. Mitchell out to Hopkins for three, big shot, no good, in and out. Rebound, Georgetown, and here they come. Here's Williams, who's had a big first half, top of the key, and again another offensive foul. A moving pick set, and again it's Darling that draws it. That's going to be on Iwachukwu, who just kind of shifted his weight out just to have the screen work, and he knocked down Darling. Second straight turnover, second straight offensive foul by Georgetown. Here comes Darling now into the paint, looks, gives it to Ejiofor, slams it home with the right hand. Nice pass. Let's see what we got here as there's whistles. The bucket's going to count. On the floor came Cooley. And we have a timeout, I believe. The basket's going to count. Ejiofor threw that down with some serious attitude with the right hand, a windmill-type dunk, 27-22. St. John's trails by 5, 4:18 to go first half. Nice pass right there by Dylan Darling on that play, on that fast break. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. This is St. John's Basketball on Locked Up Sports.
You're locked into Locked Up Sports, the internet home of the Big East Tournament. We'll take you from Selection Sunday through every bracket buster all the way to the Final Four. Keep it locked into Locked Up Sports for the...
Legends are born in March, and this March will be no different. Locked Up Sports is your home for all the madness. Join us March 11th through 14th for all the Big East tournament action. Our selection show on the 15th, then keep it locked in starting March 19th. From practice floors to packed arenas, from the bracket reveal to the final buzzer, we've got every moment covered. It all starts here. LockedUpSports.com. Stream and subscribe today.
You're listening to St. John's Basketball on Locked Up Sports.
So, St. John's trails 27-22 after a nice dunk by Ejiofor, who, listen, St. John's is shooting ice cold here today. So far, listen, they have time. They are just, let's see here. Let me just get the stats here. Sorry about this. They're 25% from free throws. They are 9 of 26 from the field. So 2 out of, listen, this is back harking to the UConn game. Not as bad, obviously, but certainly nothing to write home about here for St. John's as they trail by 5 to a bad Georgetown team who's just 5-13 in the league, and they are 13-16 overall, so a team not going anywhere. It comes in here on senior night and pushes you around in the first half. Really not something you wanted to have happen. Senior night's supposed to be a celebration for you guys, and Ejiofor has not had a good half. He got that bucket, that last bucket. They're 27-22. They trail by 5. It's not the UConn game. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is as bad as the UConn game, because it's not. But you really don't want to be trailing in the first half, at the end of the first half here, and they do trail by 5. They are 3 of 11 from 3. They are 1 of 4 from the free throw line. They're doing okay on the rebounds, but the turnovers are not good. 4 turnovers for St. John's, 3 for Georgetown. And points in the paint, they're trailing 14-12 St. John's. Points in the paint, you think they're going to be way ahead with Hopkins and with Ejiofor, and it just hasn't been that way so far here tonight. As St. John's trails by 5, 27-22, 4:18 left in the first half. Possession arrow to St. John's as Georgetown inbounds it. St. John's again with the full court press here. Williams has it, brings it across the timeline. Williams now gets it to Abraham. Abraham drives into the paint, pulls up, right-hander, off the glass and in. Pretty shot, tough angle by Isaiah Abraham, and it's a 7-point lead for the Hoyas. St. John's has it, Sellers. Sellers puts it on the ground. Sellers looking. He's still looking now. He bets it out to Darling. Darling inbound pass, and it's intercepted by Georgetown. Halafanuya grabs it out of the air. A bad entry pass by Darling. Another turnover by St. John's. And Georgetown has the ball. Williams gets it to Abraham. Now top of the key, being guarded by Hopkins. He goes to the left hand. He goes into the paint, off the glass, no good. Rebound bouncing around. It's got by Georgetown. And a foul is called as Halafanuya goes up for a layup, and he is fouled after getting the offensive board. Boy, there were 3 St. John's guys there and just one Hoya. And it was the Hoya, Halafanuya, who came down with it off the miss from Abraham. Man, 3 St. John's guys right there. Couldn't grab the rebound. Rebounding is a lot of effort. Free throw is good by Halafanuya, and it's 30-22. Halftime, we will be bringing you to the Peacock, the NBC Peacock feed, and they will provide the halftime, and then we'll be back with you in the second half. Second free throw up, around, and no good. Rebound grabbed by Hopkins, and Darling will bring it up over the timeline. Darling, right wing now, Sellers. Here has it now is Jackson. Jackson to Ejiofor, back to Darling, top of the key. Tough defense here. 10 to shoot. Right wing, Hopkins has it. Hopkins being guarded by Mulready. Mulready gives it out to Darling for 3. No good. Again, a miss by Darling, and it's rebounded by Mulready. And Georgetown will bring it up. 2:45 to go, first half. Here's an interior pass. Got it. Oh, and it's just going to be a travel. Yep. Halafanuya caught the pass. It was a good pass into the paint. Caught it with one hand, came down, took a step, and then decided to pass it. So that'll be a travel and a turnover by Georgetown. They have 4 turnovers now. St. John's 5. 8-point lead for the Hoyas. Here on the front, in the offensive side of the court, spinning as Hopkins into the paint, throws up a right-hander, and it's good. Hopkins breaks the drought for St. John's. It's been a little while since they put anything in. It is 30-24. Georgetown, Mulready brings it into the front court. Hands it off to Williams. Williams being guarded by Darling. Left wing now, Mulready for 3. He's got 2 of them already. This one no good. Rebound to Mitchell, and he'll bring it up. St. John's now in the front court. Mitchell has it. He feeds Darling. Bounce pass inside to Ejiofor. Ejiofor being guarded by Halafanuya. Backs him into the paint. Out to Hopkins. Decides against the 3. Puts it between his legs. Drives into the paint. Spins. Now up top of the key. Ejiofor takes a 3. No good. Rebound to Georgetown, and they bring it up with 95 seconds left in the first half. And a 6-point lead. Georgetown will slow it down now. St. John's just 3 of 13 from 3-pointers tonight. Abraham has it for Georgetown, being guarded by Hopkins. Puts it on the floor, right hand into the paint. Oh, he lost the handle. It's picked up, though, by Georgetown, and they'll regroup. They have it. Here's Williams. Williams has not scored in the last couple of minutes. Drives now into the paint, right hand. He's rejected by Mitchell. And a foul called. It's a shot clock violation, though, first. It's a turnover. And Williams is down, slow to get up. He's hurt, and he's wincing in pain. And he's going to stay down. It looks like maybe a left leg. This is not what Georgetown wants to see here. Ed Cooley's going to come over and check out his player, since he has been the best player on the court tonight so far in this first half. 4 of 9 from the field, 3 assists, 11 points for Jeremiah Williams. And he's down. It looks like, you know what, he's grabbing the hamstring. So maybe a hamstring pull or something like that. Not good, though. Not good news at all for Georgetown, because they're upset-minded Georgetown here tonight on senior night at Madison Square Garden. And he's not putting any pressure on the left leg, and he's going to come out of the game helped by the trainer and his coach. And he went up. It's hard to tell where it happened, but it's definitely a hamstring. And I listen, with no medical advice and no medical training, I'd say he will not be back. but you know, obviously, I have no idea. But he's putting no pressure on the leg. It looks to me like a hamstring. He's grabbing the back of his leg. He's putting no pressure on it. He's helped off the court into the locker room. And a huge loss, if the case, for Georgetown. St. John's might have just caught a break here. 1:08 to go. First half, clock ticking as the ball's brought into the front court. Darling has it, looks and he throws it away. Another turnover. Bad pass by Dylan Darling. Here's a head to Mack, and he throws it down. Mack, a two-handed jam, a bad pass by Darling, a turnover, quick transition, and the ball's at the bottom of the hoop. Just like that for Georgetown, 32-24, 45 seconds to go. Sannon has it. He's double-teamed, picks up his dribble, now to Darling. Darling being guarded by Mulready, gives it to Sellers. Sellers out to Hopkins, thinks about a three, still thinking about the three. Now he puts it on the floor behind the back. Good defense by Mulready. Drives again. Hopkins goes wild. Almost loses his balance. Rebound is tapped in by Ejiofor, and it's going to count. 20 seconds to go. Georgetown can hold for a final shot. It was Ejiofor on the tip, on the rebound. 32-26, 10 seconds to go. Mack has it, up by the label, guarded by Darling. Spins into the lane, looks, fade away from the left wing is good. Oh, pretty shot. Malik Mack with a pretty shot, and the first half comes to an end. And just like that, St. John's trails by 8 points at the half. Really not a good first half. Mack with a pretty finish to it as he put up a fadeaway from the left wing, 15, 17 feet maybe. Nothing but net. And we have ourselves maybe an upset brewing here at the Garden. First half in the books, 34-26, 8-point lead for the Hoyas, as they have really just played better than St. John's here in the first half. We're going to take you to the Peacock feed for the halftime. We'll be back with you in the second half. Thanks for listening, everybody. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
Legends are born in March, and this March will be no different. Locked Up Sports is your home for all the madness. Join us March 11th through 14th for all the Big East tournament action. Our selection show on the 15th, then keep it locked in starting March 19th. From practice floors to packed arenas, from the bracket reveal to the final buzzer, we've got every moment covered. It all starts here. LockedUpSports.com. Stream and subscribe today.
What's up, NFL fans? Quarterback Josh Dobbs here. You may know me as the Pastronaut.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
I've always loved space and football. Growing up, some people told me I had to choose. But here's the deal. You can be great at more than one thing, and getting involved in STEM opens up your world to a universe of opportunities in life. Space isn't just for the astronauts.
It's for all of us. It's not just for engineers like myself. It's for teachers,
students,
designers, mechanics, scientists,
and millions of football fans across the world.
3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time. I'm on the rise, can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
Get inspired and get involved today. There are STEM programs and science centers available in your community, so be sure to check out spaceforall.us to learn more and get started.
This is my time.
After all, there are no limits when there are footprints on the moon.
There ain't no doubt in my mind. This is my time.
Find your place in space. Space for all.
You're locked into Locked Up Sports, the internet home of the Big East Tournament. We'll take you from Selection Sunday through every bracket buster all the way to the Final Four. Keep it locked into Locked Up Sports for the
Let's Texas. Clorox Sentiva. Cleans like Clorox. Smells like cherry blossom. Experience long-lasting freshness with new Clorox Sentiva Cherry Blossom.
Welcome to the Jeep Halftime Report.
Well, in New York, Madison Square Garden, we got an upset alert. 11 for Williams, his availability in the second half. A huge story, though. Zuby Ejiofor, the senior, he's got 10 points. Emphatic dunk. Thought that might be a turning point for St. John's, but no, it's an 8-point game at the half. Welcome to the Jeep Halftime Report. Ahmed Fareed here with Jordan Cornette and Matt McCall. Scale of 1 to 10, how shocked are you at the first 20 minutes there?
I would say a 5.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Okay.
Because I knew Georgetown would bring a fight in the first half, and not so much about Georgetown, but about what transpired before the game for St. John's. I've lived through senior nights. I've covered a lot of senior nights. They're a disruption. I mean, there's supposed to be a celebration. I love that they're a part of the game, but it always leaves a little bit to chance. Why? Well, you've got some of your most important players, Hopkins, Ejiofor, Mitchell. They're out there with their families being celebrated, as they should. But they're not in the locker room with their guys before the game. Athletes, creatures of habit.
Yeah.
And when you disrupt that a little bit, it can bleed into the start of a game. What you're seeing with St. John's is that disruption has led, Coach, to a lack of sense of urgency to begin the game. The Georgetown team that now believes.
And Donnie said it at the start of the game, that they're 20 minutes without making a layup in layup lines. That's what the Senior Day celebration does. It takes away from that. You get off your legs for a little bit. But Coach Pitino's going to go in the locker room, and it's going to be like, guys, there's zero excuse for this. There's zero excuse, because in their last game against Villanova, they won that game because of their defense. Turning over Villanova 16 times in the game, 29 points off those 16 turnovers. Georgetown's just out there comfortable. They're not under any kind of duress. Also, St. John's getting out-rebounded. So the effort piece of it, like, Senior Day is over. We celebrated you. Now we got to go out and win this basketball game because there's a Big East championship on the line.
That point.
Yeah, if they win out, if UConn wins out, they share it. If they lose this game, that's in serious trouble. Credit to Georgetown, though. 50% from the floor. Offensively, they're doing some things.
Well, when you don't have K.J. Lewis and you're adjusting a life without your leading scorer and your main artery through which everything flows, guys got to elevate their games, and that's what you've seen from this group. Williams, you hope he can come back in this game with how he started. That became contagious. Mulready hit some shots. But as you watch this tape, this is going to be one of those maybe good defense, better offense, and a little bit of luck with the bank. But the majority of this tape doesn't become about the role players, but the lack of sense of urgency defensively from St. John's. Guys simply not guarding their yard, not fighting through screens, not in rotation, contests being too late. Now you're just talking about not guarding your yard. How about Williams just breaking him down off the bounce, getting to his spot, knocking down one, because they're confident now. This is a St. John's team that came in, probably thought this would be a coronation. Georgetown's going to lay down. It's our senior night. We're en route to having a share of the Big East championship. Yeah. It's our night. Well, Georgetown didn't lay down. Georgetown's coming out here playing with nothing to lose, and St. John's realized they're now in a dogfight. Great thing for them is they have 20 more minutes to play the type of basketball we've seen them play all year, but they now realize they're firmly in a fight, and to win that fight starts defensively, because now, Coach, you're not defending. Now what are you shooting from three? Settlement of the highest order, 3 of 13 from three, because you can't get stops on the other end.
It's that human nature element piece of, we'll be fine. There's no way we're losing this game at home. They're without their best player, their leading scorer. We'll be fine. Well, guess what? They're not fine. They got to come and respond to start the second.
And they will.
Issues for St. John's on the defensive side, only shooting 36% on the offensive side, so really both sides of the court for them. Second half still to come. We got other games going on, including, Coach, in the Big East. Seton Hall is in it. Big game for Seton Hall if they can get some momentum here. Yeah, big game, no question about it. Listen, they're on the bubble. Living a bubble life is not an easy life to live, but this is a Xavier team that we've seen all season long. They're dangerous. They shoot it well from behind the three-point line. They're at home in the Cintas Center. This one's going to be close coming down the stretch.
I'll be interested to see how Bud Clark can take command of this game in the second half. He is the guy, the straw that stirs the drink for this team. Can he get going and impact the game like he typically does in the second stanza?
All right, we got to take a break. Other top 25 teams in action, including
Texas Tech taking on TCU, Alabama, North Carolina. Try to check in on some of those games when we come back.
Almost there, Billy.
Adventure can take you anywhere. Get there safely with the all-new Jeep Cherokee Hybrid.
Hey, look, an eagle.
The river awaits.
How are you guys?
Tired of the new tax laws keeping us up at night.
It's all so confusing.
Well, that's why you're at Jackson Hewitt.
For the coffee?
You know it. But mostly to feel better about taxes.
Feeling better already.
And I can get you the senior deduction up to $6,000.
Oh.
And that's per person.
Wake us when our refund arrives.
Rest easy. Jack's got your taxes guaranteed.
The Colonel never wanted to give someone a meal they didn't love, so he made the $20 Build-A-Bucket. Your choice of 8-piece chicken or tenders, 4 sides, 4 biscuits. That way, if you weren't happy, he could say, "Don't blame me, you built it." KFC's $20 Build-A-Bucket.
We're caught! That's it. I'm switching teams. You can't just switch. Why not? Switch my whole family to Verizon. Got the best network. Woohoo! Plus 4 new iPhone 17 Pros on them.
Ovi?
Worst game I ever seen. But the best deal.
Come into Verizon and get 4 iPhone 17 Pros on us.
Whoa, is that Ovi with your family?
All right, Link, your turn. I'm starting to think this squitting shuffleboard was a bad idea.
That's why I brought Clorox. Time to unleash the bleach.
Clean feels good.
We'll call this game a tie.
So with all these Hilton Honors points, I could stay for free. Mm-hmm. At the Waldorf Astoria in the Maldives?
Yep. Hilton Honors, babe.
Ooh. What about the canopy in Paris? Babe, Hilton Honors.
How long has that been?
And there's no blackout dates. Hilton Honors, baby. There's no way the Conrad Tulum's included.
When you want points that can take you anywhere,
Hilton Honors, babe.
anytime, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
Do you need a pick-me-up? Because St. Dennis will make you.
Here at St. Dennis,
Conflict is natural.
You gonna catch these hands? St. Dennis Medical. New Monday on NBC and Peacock.
We got a doubleheader for you tonight on Peacock and NBC. SN, the freshman Keaton Wadler for Illinois scored 23 last time out against Michigan. That was a loss, though, for Illinois trying to bounce back tonight against Oregon. We'll have that when we're done in New York City. Take a look at the AP top 10. Illinois is there at 10. Top 3 teams, you got Duke, Arizona, Michigan, all holding the ranking. Michigan State up 5 spots. They're 8th now, Nebraska 9th. Biggest jump of the week, though, that was Texas Tech. Moving up 6 spots to number 10. So let's check out Texas Tech. Taking on TCU, Jordan. TCU, Brock Harding early on. Ooh, with a 7-point lead.
Yeah, I thought they were going to get the baseline 3 to go. They did not. But what they have done is they battled on the offensive glass. 8 offensive rebounds have led to 11 second chance points. Brock Harding, when he starts to manage the game at a high level, that's when TCU starts to take off. Life without JT Toppin, Texas Tech is realizing it. They've kind of met the challenge, but they're in a good one against a TCU team that needs to keep winning to stay on the right side of the bubble.
We'll keep you updated on that. Let's go over to the SEC. Coach, we got number 16, Alabama against Georgia. Blue Cane for 3. Georgia came to play.
Yeah, this is an Alabama team. The question is going to be going into March, can they get enough stops? Can they get enough stops in the NCAA tournament to advance, to get to Sweet 16, Elite 8, or even a Final Four? Because right now, in the first half of the Georgia Bulldogs, they scored 50 points in the first half. Catchings, 22 points on 4 for 9 from behind the 3-point line. I would not say that defense has been very
Georgia up 11. We'll keep you updated on that. Go over to the ACC now. Clemson taking on number 17, North Carolina. Jaron Stevenson for 3. The question, though, who are these Tar Heels this year?
Well, they are in an uphill climb in this one without Caleb Wilson. They're due an all-top 10 draft pick. Clemson is a gritty group. That's who they've always been with Coach Brownell. They play a balanced game. They guard you. They rebound. They can score in transition. But right now, the 3-point line has been very kind to this Carolina team, who is facing a challenge for 40 minutes right now. It's Clemson, one of the most underrated teams in the country.
Down 3 for UNC at the break. All right, we got to get back to the second half of our game. Our Jeep first half stats, not great. If you're the number 18 team in the country in St. John's, we'll see if Rick Pitino's halftime speech motivated them in the second half.
This has been the Jeep Halftime Report.
What are you made of?
What if the answer isn't just about defining who you are, but about elevating what you can become?
And pushing beyond the boundary.
Rising above and transforming yourself.
Now is the time.
Your time to elevate yourself because you are meant to rise.
St. John's University.
Education that elevates.
Are you Marsha?
I am. I am.
Thanks for meeting me here. Usually not an interweb dating guy. Barely ever use this phone computer. Unless it's to bundle my insurance with Liberty Bibbity.
Oh, same. I hate this thing, but it's true. You can save hundreds bundling with Bibbity.
Bibbity?
Bibbity? Bibbity.
Are you hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some lasagna.
And some cannolis.
Only pay for what you need.
This is the mark of a fighter. A rich, full-flavored lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. A reward for those with a fighting spirit. You've earned this, so hold it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
There's a lot of science that goes into making sure this helmet protects me. The same is true of the Colgate Total Active Prevention System.
It's 15 times more effective at fighting the root cause of oral health problems.
Try the Colgate Total Active Prevention System.
Prevent problems before they start.
Over here! On it! We got this. Yes!
One more. Nintendo Switch 2 is home with Mario and friends.
After almost 3,000 episodes of GMM, a lot of nasty stuff has been ejected out of our mouths and into these spit buckets. Pumpkin spice pig's feet, ranch crayons, vile cheesecake. Let's unleash the bleach.
Why did we wait so long to do that?
Where most see frail, Huggies sees a fighter. And through every round, we provide them with gentle protection for the most delicate skin. Huggies, designed with NICU nurses. That's it. We're switching teams.
You can't just switch.
I mean, we just switched to Verizon. Got 4 new iPhone 17 Pros on them.
It's good to be on our winning team.
Come into Verizon and get 4 iPhone 17 Pros on us.
Like us?
Big East basketball is brought to you by PetSmart. Anything for pets. February 27, 1985. Oh, 41 years ago, it lives on forever. John Thompson said to a former player in New York, "You got to find me a sweater. We got to stop this Louis Lucky sweater thing." We brought our sweaters to the house at MSG.
I know most people think that you wear this sweater all the time. You know, I actually wear this sweater all the time. You actually look better in that, I think, than I look in this.
What do you think?
I love it. I love it. You got the tie to match, too. But nothing matches the sweater game, but this is pretty close. Your sweater game's pretty close.
And when you walk in here.
All right, we're back here at Madison Square Garden. Locked Up Sports coverage of St. John's, Georgetown. Not a good first half at all for St. John's. They trailed by 8, 34-26. They were ice cold shooting. They didn't play good defense. They turned the ball over. Only 3 for 13 from beyond the arc at 3-point range. And just not a good first half for any part of it. Bob Walters here with you for the second half as we bring you through here. Final home game for St. John's. Final home game for a couple of the seniors, including Zubi Ejiofor, star leader in the clubhouse for Big East Player of the Year. St. John's will start with the ball here. Down by 8. They really need to win this thing if they want to have any shot at a Big East regular season repeat, or at least a split. St. John's with the ball. Inside, Sellers. Nice on the layup, and he got it. Good start for St. John's. Nice pass from Hopkins to Sellers. 34-28, full court pressure again from St. John's. It's broken by Georgetown. Mulready brings it into the front court, being guarded by Sellers. Mulready gives it to Abraham. Abraham, top of the key. Left wing now for Mack. Mack drives it into the lane off the glass. No good. Rebound. Ejiofor, and here comes St. John's. Hopkins has it now. Sellers on the right wing, puts it on the floor. Gives it to Darling. Up top, Ejiofor. Ejiofor looking, being guarded by Halafanuya. Sellers has it now. Double team. Mitchell inside, interior pass tipped away, and it's going to be off of Ejiofor. It looked like it went off of Georgetown, but it was tipped twice and then out of bounds. So it'll be Georgetown ball again with the full court press. Inbound, good pass. A lob pass over Darling to Mack, who brings it into the front court for Georgetown. 6-point lead. Mack has it, drives, left elbow, pulls up, jumper, high floating jumper, short, air ball, and thrown off of a St. John's player's leg and out of bounds. Good play by Caleb Williams that time, not Jeremiah. Jeremiah is the one with the big game, but Caleb right there with the heads up play, throwing it off of Hopkins' leg, and it goes out of bounds off the air ball from Mack. Mack with 6 points on the night, 3 of 6 from the field. Georgetown inbounding. Mulready inbounding, another high arcing pass and a dangerous pass, and it's tipped around and it's a turnover. Darling has it into the front court, head to Ejiofor and a two-handed slam, and it's a 4-point game. 34-30. St. John's right back in it. They've scored 4 straight to open the second half. (34-30) turnover by Georgetown. Last time down the field on the inbound, down the court. Driving in another turnover. Mack is stripped. St. John's got it. Darling brings it up. Darling gives it to Ejiofor, top of the key, hands it back to Darling. Now Sellers has it. Long three for Sellers. No good. Off the front of the rim. Tipped back out and out of bounds by St. John's. Good effort, though. St. John's has definitely come out here in the second half, in the first 2 minutes, playing much, much better, more inspired. As they have, even though they only got 4 points so far, I mean, listen, it just looks like a different team early here in the second half. 34-30, Georgetown with the lead in the ball. It's going to be Mulready, guarded by Sellers. And almost another turnover. Mulready gets it back. Pulls up his dribble, pulls up a 15-footer. Good. Pretty shot by Kayvon Mulready. He's got 19 points last game, so he's been hot. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell has it. Now Sellers. Sellers bounce pass to Ejiofor. Ejiofor backing in on the edge of the paint. Gets it out. Hopkins from the top for 3. In and out. No good. Rebound. Good rebound by Mitchell. Here's Sannon. Sannon puts it on the floor into the paint. Feeds it to Ejiofor. Right hand hook shot. Good. And it's a 4-point game. 36-32. Georgetown with the lead. 17:05 to go. Here comes Halafanuya. Halafanuya into the paint. Gets it back out to Williams. Williams drives left hand into the paint. Now he pulls it back out. Good defense by St. John's. They've definitely picked up on the defensive end here in the first 4 minutes. Long three for Georgetown, and it's good. Mulready. Kayvon Mulready again. Buries a 3, and it's 39-32. Here's Darling. Crossover into the paint. Spins. Gets it out. Hopkins. He throws it to Mitchell, who doesn't see it. Jackson now has it. Jackson into the paint. Back out to Hopkins. And a whistle and a offensive foul called and a turnover by St. John's. Boy, this Kayvon Mulready has been on fire from downtown. Early in the first half, he had a pair. He's got 11 points, 4 of 7 from the field. 39-32. 7-point lead for the Hoyas. 16.5 to go. Second half. Mack brings it up. Now Mack in the right wing. Mack inside to Halafanuya, and he throws it down with 2 hands. Nobody on Halafanuya. Wide open underneath. And it's a 9-point lead for the Hoyas. 41-32. Interior pass. Here's Sannon. And he misses the shot. Rebound to Georgetown. And that little bit of momentum that St. John's had early in this half is, there's a turnover. Here comes Jackson. Jackson into the front court. Jackson into the paint. Throws it off the glass. No good. Gets the rebound. Hopkins. And a foul called Hopkins will go to the line. Jackson came with a head of steam, missed the layup, too strong off the glass. That'll bring us to the under 16 timeout. 41-32, 9-point lead for Georgetown. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
You're locked into Locked Up Sports, the internet home of the Big East Tournament. We'll take you from Selection Sunday through every bracket buster all the way to the Final Four. Keep it locked into Locked Up Sports.
Baseball is right around the corner. Warm weather, blue skies, and the crack of the bat. Spring training is here. Nobody covers the Yankees. Nobody covers the Mets like Locked Up Sports. Daily expert takes all season long the best baseball coverage on the internet.
I'm Bob Walters, host of Locked Up Sports, the best New York sports talk on the internet. Join myself and Brett Grasso every week as we break down all the happenings from the best sports town in the world and have conversations with some of the biggest names in New York sports, including former Mets general manager Steve Phillips.
We need a star player, but let's go get Piazza, and I finally got approval to do it.
The man who revolutionized special teams in the NFL, Coach Mike Westhoff.
But, all the things that he got accused of, he did them all. I know. Trust me, I know. He did them all.
And New York sports talk legend Joe Beningo, just to name a few.
But they gave this guy $35 million a year, $350 million for 10 years. What the hell were they thinking with this guy?
Yeah. If you're a sports fan, this is the podcast for you. We have all the insights, laughs, and entertaining perspectives you crave. Whether you're looking for a funny take on your favorite team or informative and entertaining conversation, Locked Up Sports has you covered. Subscribe today for the most entertaining and informative sports podcast around. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
Back to the final whistle.
Don't go anywhere.
Stick around for the Locked Up Sports postgame show. Breakdowns, highlights, and the stories you can't miss. And tomorrow, we're back live to wrap up everything from the big game.
This isn't national sports talk. This is New York. And when it comes to their sports talk, they won't settle for anything less than the very best. That's why more New Yorkers get their sports talk from Locked Up Sports than anywhere else. The best New York sports talk on the internet.
You're listening to the NFL.
All right, we're back. 41-32 Georgetown with the lead at Madison Square Garden. St. John's came out in the second half. They started to play well. First 2 or 3 minutes, even though we're only, about 4 minutes into this thing in the second half. But St. John's played well. They looked better on defense. They got a couple points in transition. And then Georgetown hit a couple threes, and they got control right back. Right now, St. John's sitting at that number 2 seed heading into the Big East tournament. If it started today, UConn would get the 1 seed. It'd be Villanova with the 3. So, there's a bunch of buys in that tournament to get to Wednesday. And then Thursday is the quarterfinals. Friday, the semifinals. And Saturday, most people expect to see St. John's and UConn in a rubber match third time around, each team with a win. But, hey, St. John's plays like this, they might not get there. At the line is St. John's. It's Hopkins, and he first one around and in. Just has not been a good night, really, for St. John's. They have not played well. Defense hasn't been there. Transition defense hasn't been there. They haven't gotten the turnovers with the press that they've been doing most of the game. Second free throw is good. He hits a pair. Hopkins does. It's 41-34. And here's the press again. Hopkins on the ball, inbounder. Gets it to Mulready, who gives it to Mack, and Mack will bring it up with Darling guarding him as the rest of the team backs off into the front court. Mack, right-hand dribble, bounce pass to Mulready, hands it off now to Abraham. Abraham for 3, no good, and a foul. Oh, a foul called on Ian Jackson. It'll be 3 free throws for Mulready, who's just had a hot hand tonight. Bad decision right there. Jackson does that a lot. He makes a lot of bad decisions on the court. His basketball IQ is not the highest out there, I'll tell you that much. So he hits the first one, 2 more to go. 42-34. Georgetown with the lead. 15:37 to go. Second half. Second one on its way is good. Hits 2. First 2. Now he's got 1 more. Again, Jackson with a bad decision. We got a couple comments here from people watching online. Put them up for you guys. Talking about the turnovers. If Hoyas don't take care of this basketball, they will lose. Well, I mean, listen, that's been the case for St. John's as well. Couple bad turnovers early by Georgetown, but they seem to have settled down here after letting St. John's kind of dictate the first 2-3 minutes. The Hoyas have settled down. They've stretched it to a 10-point lead. St. John's has trailed all night. Oh, and there's another turnover by St. John's. As stripped, Ejiofor is stripped. He wasn't paying attention. Into the front court. Here comes Abraham. Gives it to Williams. Williams into the paint. Turnaround be a good defense by Sannon. Now it's and a foul. No foul call. Gets it out to Mack. Mack's going to reset the offense for Georgetown. Guarded by Darling. 10 to shoot. Gets it into Abraham. Abraham gives it to Iwuchukwu. No good. Rebound to St. John's, and they bring it back. No harm done on that turnover by Ejiofor. Darling has it. St. John's looking for a spark. Inside Hopkins feeds it to Ejiofor, puts it up off the glass and in. And a foul. Count it. There's the play St. John's needed. Hopkins right to Ejiofor, up off the glass, and a foul. Chance for a traditional three-point play. Hopkins got his jersey grabbed there before he made the pass. I thought there was going to be a foul called on that. It wasn't. And it's now one free throw for Ejiofor, trying to make it a three-point play, and he misses the free throw, of course. St. John's all night trouble with these free throws. It's an 8-point lead for Georgetown. St. John's 3 of 6, 50% from the line. That is just not acceptable. In the front court now for Georgetown. With the ball is Williams. Caleb Williams has it. Puts it on the floor. Guarded by Ejiofor. Now to Jeremiah Williams. Jeremiah Williams has been hot all night. Drives. Top of the key. Spins. Pivots. Turnaround jumper. Short. Oh, and he gets the roll. It was short. He got a roll. Shooter's bounce. It went in. Whistle after the play. Let's see what they're going to... They're not going to call anything, I don't think. St. John's is screaming and yelling about something from their bench. But Williams pivoted. He picked up his dribble, turned around, fade away from the top of the key, gets it off the front of the rim. And when you're having the night that he's having, those things just drop for you, huh? He was short, and he just got it to roll over and fall. 47-36, 14 points for Williams. As he got injured. Yeah, listen, we didn't expect to see him back in this game after the hamstring injury. I certainly didn't. I gave my medical opinion, so he's not coming back. But here he is in the second half, hitting tough shots like that with a hand in his face. Second personal foul for Ejiofor, as they're going to get the ball back because there was a foul. Here's the inbound. Here's Mack driving off the backboard and in. Strong layup by Malik Mack. And it's a 12 points lead for the Hoyas. Darling puts the ball on the floor, into the paint, spins, fade away, blocked, and it's a turnover by St. John's. Here comes Williams in the front court, left wing, Mack. Mack looks in, he turns it over himself as it's tipped around, and Prey came out with it. Hands it to Darling, so a turnover is on both ends. And now a whistle. What do we got here? As Darling looks like he might have been called for a foul. Turnovers at both ends on those last possessions. Both bad turnovers. St. John's has really had trouble holding on to the ball here tonight. Here is Hopkins to Prey now. St. John's with the ball, trailing by 12. At home on senior night to the Georgetown Hoyas. Sannon has it. Sannon, top of the key, left wing now to Hopkins. Hopkins drives into the paint, double teamed, look, gives it to Prey. Prey goes up and under, and he misses the lay-in. And a foul called on Georgetown on the rebound and over the back on Iwuchukwu, who's not happy about it. But hey, there's the whistle and the breaks for St. John's. Prey decided to go up and under, a little acrobatic for the big man. He missed the layup. But St. John's will get another shot on this possession as the foul is called. on Iwachukwu, still talking to the referee about it, still not happy about it. His third, as Georgetown starts to kind of creep into foul trouble here. Ejiofor with 3. He's on the bench for St. John's. Iwachukwu with 3. We'll see if they leave him in the game or if they pull him here. Looks like he's going to stay in. St. John's inbounding underneath the Georgetown hoop. Gets it into Prey under the hoop, and he's stripped and a foul called. Looks like Williams, unless it was Iwachukwu again, they were both there with hands in the area. Good. Prey came, let's see. Nope, it's going to be Williams. The foul will be on Williams. Or it should be on Williams at least. 5 fouls already for Georgetown. St. John's Prey at the line. First one on its way, no good. St. John's can't buy a bucket from the free throw line here tonight. Definitely concerning here for St. John's fans. The way they played against Villanova a couple nights ago, second free throw is good. And then the way they come out and play tonight, they obviously looked past Georgetown here, and they're paying for it. They trail by 11 points. Under 14 minutes to go in the game. 13:25 left. 48-37 Georgetown. This is Locked Up Sports. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
You're locked into Locked Up Sports, the internet home of the Big East Tournament. We'll take you from Selection Sunday through every bracket buster all the way to the Final Four. Keep it locked into
St. John's fan, March is coming and the Red Storm is looking to make it 2 straight Big East championships. Locked Up Sports is the internet radio home of St. John's basketball, and Monday we have New York Post St. John's beat reporter Zach Braziller on as the Johnnies gear up for a massive game at UConn. You're not going to want to miss this.
Legends are born in March, and this March will be no different. Locked Up Sports is your home for all the madness. Join us March 11th through 14th for all the Big East tournament action. Our selection show on the 15th, then keep it locked in starting March 19th. From practice floors to packed arenas, from the bracket reveal to the final buzzer, we've got every moment covered. It all starts here. LockedUpSports.com. Stream and subscribe today.
What's up, NFL fans? Quarterback Josh Dobbs here. You may know me as the Pastronaut.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down. I'm too fly. This is my time.
I've always loved space and football. Growing up, some people told me I had to choose. But here's the deal. You can be great at more than one thing, and getting involved in STEM opens up your world to a universe of opportunities in life. Space isn't just for the astronauts.
It's for all of us. It's not just for engineers like myself. It's for teachers,
students,
designers, mechanics, scientists, and millions of football fans across the world.
3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time. I'm on the rise, can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
Get inspired and get involved today. There are STEM programs and science centers available in your community, so be sure to check out spaceforall.us to learn more and get started.
This is my time.
After all, there are no limits when there are footprints on the moon. Find your place in space.
You're
Space for all.
listening to St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
All right, we're back here from the break. It is 48-37 Georgetown with an 11-point lead, 13:25 left. Thank you, everybody who's watching or listening in here on Locked Up Sports coverage of St. John's basketball. And as there's a bunch of you on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, wherever you're at, thank you for listening. John Franco, as they're showing on TV right now, John Franco, Mets pitcher, is here. He's, of course, the Queens guy, St. John's guy. Pitched for St. John's from 79 to 81. And, of course, on the Mets for a long time, and also on the Cincinnati Reds. He can't be happy with what's going on here in this one. 48-37, Georgetown, 11-point lead, and the ball, 13:25 to go. They get it in, and he throws it away on the inbound pass. And it's St. John's ball, a turnover, as Georgetown is starting to get a bit sloppy here. They're turning it over at definitely a higher rate. That's the first time that really the putting the pressure on the inbounder and the full court press has really done anything for St. John's. They inbound the ball. Prey has it. Prey in the paint. No good. Misses the left-handed layup. Mack comes away with it for Georgetown into the front court. Now it's Williams. Williams for 3. No good off the front of the iron. Rebound. Tapped around out of bounds. And the ball goes to St. John's. Iwuchukwu had it. He looked like he might have been pushed by Prey. No call. And St. John's will get the ball. So, sloppy here in the second half for both teams, especially with the turnovers. St. John's, though, still trails by 11. Only 37 points here tonight. Here's Jackson. Jackson into the front court. Gives it to... Oh, Jackson has it back. Jackson into the paint. Out to Prey. Hands it off to Sannon. Thought about a three. Now dribbles left hand into the paint. Gets it to Darling. Darling has it. Now to Jackson. And he off the glass and in. Are they going to count it? No, they're not. I don't believe. It's going to be a foul on the floor on Georgetown. Jackson got fouled. Yeah, you know what? That could have been called in the process of shooting. He was taking some steps, about to throw it in. Crowd not happy about it. Oh, wait. No, they're going to count it. Now they're going to count it. They're going to count it. And here comes the for a three-point play. Jackson's free throw. Good. It's a three-point play, and maybe that's what St. John's needs as the crowd gets into it now here at the Garden. They rise to their feet a little bit. Georgetown is upset. Ed Cooley screaming and yelling still at the referees as Georgetown inbounds the ball. Williams brings it up, guarded by Sannon. Now Mulready has it. Mulready calling out plays from near midcourt. Takes it to the right wing, hooks, and then he dribbles it out of bounds. But it's off of Mitchell, who reached in and got his hand on it. We'll keep it right here, Georgetown ball. .48-40, 12 and a half to go in this one. Mack has it now. Mack gets a screen, dribbles left side, goes all the way, feeds it in the hand to Iwuchukwu, throws it down with two hands. Pretty pass. All alone, Iwuchukwu under the hoop. 10-point lead for Georgetown. Sannon now in the front court. Prey has it. Prey, left wing, Sannon for three. Got it. Big shot for Sannon. And it's a 7-point game. St. John's foul. Oh, he has a long baseball pass inbound, and he's got it up, and he misses the layup. Ford missed the layup. St. John's got it back the other way. It's going to be a big possession here, big swing. Here goes Jackson off the glass. No good. Rebound slammed home by Mitchell. 5 straight for St. John's. And it's a 5-point game. 11:43 to go. Mitchell two-handed slam on the miss. And St. John's is now starting to feel it a little bit. The crowd's starting to feel it. The miss, Mitchell the follow with the two-handed slam. And we got ourselves a game. 50-45, Georgetown with the lead. Just under 12 minutes to go in this one. 5 straight from St. John's. Crowd starting to get into it. St. John's feeling better about themselves. We'll take a break. We'll be back. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
Legends are born in March, and this March will be no different. Locked Up Sports is your home for all the madness. Join us March 11th through 14th for all the Big East tournament action. Our selection show on the 15th, then keep it locked in starting March 19th. From practice floors to packed arenas, from the bracket reveal to the final buzzer, we've got every moment covered. It all starts here. LockedUpSports.com. Stream and subscribe.
Baseball is right around the corner. Warm weather, blue skies, and the crack of the bat. Spring training is here. Nobody covers the Yankees. Nobody covers the Mets like Locked Up Sports. Daily expert takes all season long the best baseball coverage on the internet.
I'm Bob Walters, host of Locked Up Sports, the best New York sports talk on the internet. Join myself and Brett Grasso every week, and we break down all the happenings from the best sports town in the world and have conversations with some of the biggest names in New York sports, including former Mets general manager Steve Phillips.
We need a star player, but let's go get Piazza, and I finally got approval to do it.
The man who revolutionized special teams in the NFL, Coach Mike Westhoff.
But, all the things that he got accused of, he did them all. I know. Trust me, I know. He did them all.
And New York sports talk legend Joe Beningo, just to name a few.
But they gave this guy $35 million a year, $350 million for 10 years. What the hell were they thinking with this guy?
Yeah. If you're a sports fan, this is the podcast for you. We have all the insights, laughs, and entertaining perspectives you crave. Whether you're looking for a funny take on your favorite team or informative and entertaining conversation, Locked Up Sports has you covered. Subscribe today for the most entertaining and informative sports podcast around. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
Back to the final whistle.
Don't go anywhere.
Stick around for the Locked Up Sports postgame show. Breakdowns, highlights, and the stories you can't miss. And tomorrow, we're back live to wrap up everything from the big game.
This isn't national sports talk. This is New York. And when it comes to their sports talk, they won't settle for anything less than the very best. That's why more New Yorkers get their sports talk from Locked Up Sports than anywhere else. The best New York sports talk on the internet.
All right, back here. St. John's making a bit of a run. They had trailed by 5. They trailed by 10. They got 5 straight points. Ejiofor now with 16 points, in 23 minutes. 50-45. Again, St. John's puts pressure on the inbounder. They get it into Williams. Williams across the timeline. Gets it back now to Mulready, who'll set up the offense for Georgetown. 5-point lead, under 12 minutes to go. Dribbles right hand, Mulready into the paint, goes off the glass, high off the glass, no good. Rebound comes around, Georgetown's got it. In Mack, up and under with the finger roll, and it's good. Pretty shot, pretty layup by Mack. Into the corner, St. John's now in the front court. Up top, here's a 3 for Sannon, short off the front of the rim. St. John's gets the rebound though. Sannon again has it. Now top, here comes Jackson for 3, and he misses. Prey with a good offensive rebound, corrals it in, and St. John's gets a third chance. Left wing, Sannon, he fires up a 3, and he got it. Oh, big shot, good possession by St. John's. 8 straight points, it's a 4-point game. 52-48. St. John's with 2 big offensive rebounds. Prey with an impressive one as he gathered it in with one hand, and Georgetown is now starting to feel the pressure. Crowd on its feet at the Garden. 52-48. Here's Mack with a fadeaway jumper, no good. Rebound, St. John's. Sannon's got it. And they can cut it to a 1-possession game. An 8-2 run for St. John's in the last 2 minutes here. Here's a 3. No good off the back of the iron. Rebound, St. John's has it. Another 3. Sellers, no good. And it's finally grabbed by Georgetown. Oh, St. John's can feel it. They're shooting up 3s, firing them up here at will. 52-48. Williams has it, backs it up. Guarded by Prey. Now he'll slow it down as he backs up near midcourt. And the St. John's faithful rises to their feet. Here comes Mack into the paint. Oh, he burns right by Prey, and he blocks it from behind. Oh, good recovery by Prey as Williams went right by him, and Prey came back and was able to block it out of bounds from behind. Exactly 10 minutes to go. Second half. Prey with a good sequence right there. Gets the big rebound, offensive rebound, and then a big block on the other end. And as the listener here said right here, Georgetown needs to be able to withstand this St. John's run. So far, it's an 8-2 run. They've cut it to 4 points. It's 52-48. Georgetown still holding on to a 4-point lead. Inbound, dangerous inbound pass caught by Mulready. Left wing Mack. Mack guarded by Prey. Drives in. 15-foot jump shot from the baseline is good. Oh, pretty shot. Mack is a good jump shot. He hits a lot of those. 6-point lead for the Hoyas. Sannon in the front court. Prey has it now. Hands it off to Jackson. Jackson. Oh, he almost got it stripped. Right wing now for Abanyo. Left wing. Here's Sannon for 3. No good. It bounces up and over the backboard. Out of bounds. Georgetown ball. Sannon just doesn't listen. He's the only St. John's player that's just willing to fire up 3s. And you kind of need that, even if he's struggling a bit. He fires them up. The rest of the team is kind of hesitant to take 3s, but Sannon will put him up there. 6-point lead for Georgetown. As again, pressure. Hopkins guards the inbounder. They get it in. Williams brings it up. Williams between 2 St. John's players into the front court, slows it down. Guarded by Darling. 9:20 to go, second half. St. John's 5 of 22 for 3. Here's Mack again off the glass. He's fouled by Sannon. I'm sorry, fouled by Sellers. on the fadeaway. He was fading out of bounds. Not a good foul there by Sellers. You want to let him take that shot. That's a tough shot to make. If he makes it, you tip your cap. If he doesn't, you get the rebound. Instead, he's going to get 2 free throws and try and extend this 6-point lead for Georgetown. St. John's in the bonus. St. John's only has 3 fouls, though. Georgetown with 6, so St. John's will be shooting the rest of the way, as Georgetown has been a bit sloppy here in the second half. Georgetown leading scorer for Georgetown is Mack has 13, Williams has 13. Mulready is the leader, though, with 14 points. Ejiofor with 16 for St. John's. He leads the way there. Here we go, 55-48 into the front court. Dylan Darling has it. Up top, Sellers. Now Sannon left wing. Sannon wants to take the 3. Oh, he just wants to shoot that thing up. Now he takes it back at the top of the key, drives into the paint. Right-hand layup is blocked and a foul. Foul on Georgetown. Sannon will go to the line and shoot a pair. 7th foul, team foul for Georgetown. Sannon wanted to take that shot. He had a guy in his face out from the 3-point line, decided to put it on the floor, got a screen, went left, and was fouled as he went in for the layup. 8:55 to go, 6 points on the night for Sannon to go with 4 rebounds and 2 assists. Free throw on its way, bounces around and in. 6-point deficit for the Johnnies. St. John's desperately needs this if they want to have a shot at a split even of the Big East regular season. Second free throw is good. He makes them both. It's a 5-point game again. Inbound. Mack has it. They're making Georgetown work just to get the ball in after these buckets. Mulready has it up across the timeline. Guarded by Sellers. Now it's Mack. Tight defense here from Darling. Up to the top, it's Halafanuya. Halafanuya has it, picked up his dribble, gets it back to Mulready, 10 to shoot. Pulls up his dribble way out. Now he's stuck, gets it to Mack. They better hurry. 4 to shoot, 3. He takes a long 3, no good, back of the iron. Rebound, up for it goes Hopkins, and he comes down with it. There's a St. John's player down in the backcourt. He gets back up. It is, looks like it's Odie. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's Abayo. Here's Hopkins, top of the key, drives left hand into the paint, spins, goes up with it, high off the glass, no good. Rebound, Ejiofor got it, goes up with it, got it, and the foul. Zuby Ejiofor, big rebound, puts it back, gets fouled. 3-point game. And a free throw coming. Oh, man, he just wanted it more. He got it with the one hand, tipped it to himself. Went up and under with the right hand and the foul, and a shot to cut this lead to 2. The foul is on Abraham. 55-52. 18 points for Ejiofor. 4 rebounds, 2 blocks. Coming off his triple-double from the other night against Villanova. Here's the free throw. Up and good. It's a 2-point game. And back in for Georgetown comes Williams. Williams, of course, had a big first half. Then he hurt his hamstring, went out in the final minutes of the first half. Crowd rises to its feet here at the Garden. 55-53, Georgetown. We got a hell of a game here. Didn't expect this one, I'll tell you that much. Here's the inbound. Georgetown gets it in. Crowd really getting behind St. John's here now. Into the front court. Mack has it. Mack has it stripped, but it goes right to another Georgetown player, Williams. Williams back out to Halafanuya. Now here comes Williams into the paint, puts it up right-handed, no good. Rebound and a foul. Called on St. John's. Williams was short with the layup. Got his own rebound, but a foul called. And it's going to be on Ejiofor. And that'll be his 4th if it is on Ejiofor. I think it is, but it'll be his 4th foul. And now you got to be careful with Ejiofor. He's going to be playing with 4 fouls. 55-53. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for listening here on Locked Up Sports. Don't forget, share the stream, like the stream. We appreciate everybody listening here, because we got a bunch of people here listening. I don't know where you guys are listening from. Let me see if I can find out. I guess mostly on YouTube and Twitter. But thanks to everybody, wherever you're listening from. St. John's struggled in the first half. They really struggled here in the second half. They picked it up in the last couple minutes. They had an 8-2 run. Kind of got back into the game, and they've kind of scratched and clawed their way. They got it now to within one possession, a 2-point game. Georgetown will be shooting free throws. There's 7:38 to go in the game. St. John's, of course, they need this if they want to have basically any chance at the Big East regular season championship, or at least a share of the championship, as they're a game behind in the win column. Tonight, if they get this one, would even them up with UConn with 2 games left. St. John's, after this one, will go and play in Jersey against Seton Hall. That game is on the 6th at the Prudential Center. And you know what? That'll be it for them. So they got one more game. That's really it. And they're going to have to win this one. And then if they win against Seton Hall going to be playing for their life pretty much. They are playing right now. I'll get you the score in the Seton Hall game. Seton Hall currently is up 5 on Xavier. So the most people's bracket, Seton Hall is on the bubble, but not firmly on the bubble. They're really just outside the bubble, not playing. Not a great season. They have 19 wins, but with a win tonight will get them to 20 wins, and then they'll have a big one, and they might be having their NCAA tournament hopes pinned on that game against St. John's. So you're going to be going up against a desperate team in Seton Hall coming up in just a couple days. St. John's trying to scratch and claw their way to a win here tonight. It won't be pretty, however they do it, but a win is a win. Zuby Ejiofor has done everything possible in his effort here tonight on senior night, his final home game. He's really carried St. John's, and that's what he's done basically, for the past 2 seasons. 19 points, 9 of 12 from the field, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks. The senior transfer from North Carolina, and the free throw is good for Williams. (56-53). Williams with a second one coming on its way. Good. 4-point lead for Georgetown. Back to 2 possessions. St. John's brings it in. Half-court defense by Georgetown. Dylan Darling with the ball. Gets it to Sannon. Sannon back to Darling now. Screen set by Ejiofor, and a foul called on Halafanuya on an illegal kind of tried to fight his way through the screen, and he pushed off. So St. John's, of course, in the bonus, shooting free throws. Next foul, they will be shooting 2 free throws. They'll be in the double bonus. Right now, it'll be a 1-and-1 for Dylan Darling. Got to hit the front ends of these 1-and-1s. On its way, good. Hit the first one. He gets a second. 3-point lead, 57-54. 7:25 to go at Madison Square Garden. Darling 82%, second one on its way. Got him both. Clutch free throws. It's a 2-point game again. Here comes Georgetown into the front court. Williams, good entry pass. Oh, he overthrew it. Nope. In, out of bounds. Turnover. Jeremiah Williams tried to get an interior pass into the paint. Lobbed it over, but lobbed it too far. Out of bounds, intended for Halafanuya. And St. John's gets a chance to tie or take the lead right here. 57-55. Darling has it. Now Sellers. Sellers has it. Puts it on the right, in the right wing. Picks up his dribble. Gets it down low. Ejiofor in the paint all alone with Halafanuya. Goes up and he's fouled. And he'll go to the line with a chance to tie. Zuby Ejiofor has pretty much carried St. John's here tonight. He was one-on-one in the paint. And not good defense right there by Halifanuya. Edge of 4, 2 free throws. First one on its way. Got it. 1 point lead for Georgetown. This one is to tie it. St. John's has been scratching and clawing all night to get back even. On its way, and we start anew as it goes down 57, 7 minutes exactly to go. Second half. On their feet now they come at Madison Square Garden. St. John's has come all the way back from a 10-point deficit to tie the game. Williams has it. Williams, and there's a strip by Darling. Darling coming in all by himself, puts it up, and he got it. Leads it in. St. John's leads. 2-point lead for St. John, 59-57. Williams in the front court, almost turns it over. Now here's a three from Williams, no good. St. John's got the ball, and you can feel the momentum just shifting right now. 59-57, St. John's with the lead. Darling has it. Darling, left wing, Hopkins. Hopkins down low, edge of 4, just outside the paint. Back to Sannon for 3. Got it! Big shot, Sannon. 4-point lead for the Johnnies. Timeout, Georgetown. They are on their feet. St. John's come all the way back. They got a 4-point lead. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
Legends are born in March, and this March will be no different. Locked Up Sports is your home for all the madness. Join us March 11th through 14th for all the Big East tournament action. Our selection show on the 15th, then keep it locked in starting March 19th. From practice floors to packed arenas, from the bracket reveal to the final buzzer, we've got every moment covered. It all starts here. LockedUpSports.com. Stream and subscribe today.
What's up, NFL fans? Quarterback Josh Dobbs here. You may know me as the Pastronaut.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
I've always loved space and football. Growing up, some people told me I had to choose. But here's the deal. You can be great at more than one thing, and getting involved in STEM opens up your world to a universe of opportunities in life. Space isn't just for the astronauts.
It's for all of us. It's not just for engineers like myself. It's for teachers,
students,
designers, mechanics, scientists, and millions of football fans across the world.
3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
Get inspired and get involved today. There are STEM programs and science centers available in your community, so be sure to check out spaceforall.us to learn more and get started.
This is my time.
After all,
St. John's with a 61-57 lead, a 13-2 run over the last couple minutes for the Red Storm. And you got to think now, is Georgetown got anything left? Ed Cooley talked to his players on that last time out, but they had this game. They had St. John's on the ropes, and they just, the turnovers, and they let them come back into the game. Couple big threes, a big one just before the last break by Sannon. And this, the roof almost came off here, Madison Square Garden, 61-57. St. John's with the lead, their first lead since early in the first half. St. John's 11 for 25, 8 for 18 for Georgetown in the second half. St. John's really picked it up. Here comes into the front, into the paint. It is Mulready, and he lays it up and in. And he's going to get a foul, too, called. So Mulready, who's been the best player in the second half since the Williams injury. Williams came back. He's played well, but Mulready has really been the best player for Georgetown here tonight. He's going to shoot at the line here to make it a 1-point game. 65% on the season for free throws. He buries it. It's a 1-point game, 61-60. St. John's with the lead. Edge of 4 playing with 4 fouls. Here's Hopkins now. Hopkins, a little pressure. St. John's breaks it. Sannon again for 3 from the same spot, and he hits it, buries it. Sannon has caught fire here for St. John's in the last couple minutes. 2 straight threes from the exact same spot on the right wing. And it's back to a 4-point game. Mack has it. Mack in the front court. Left side. Here's Mulready. Mulready for 3 with a hand in his face. No good. Rebound got by Georgetown and put back up and in. Williams, Caleb Williams on that one. 64-62. St. John's with a 2-point lead. Here's Dylan Darling. Darling thinks about a 3, steps back. Now he takes it, and it's no good. Rebound. Ejiofor was there, couldn't get a hand on it. And Georgetown comes away with it with a chance to tie. Into the front court. Mack has it. Georgetown looking for their biggest win of the season. Mack, guarded by Darling. Screen set. He thought about a long 3, then thought better about it. Here comes Williams. Williams turns it over. St. John's got the ball back. Ejiofor has it. Ejiofor top of the key. Gives it to Darling. They'll slow it down. Another turnover by Georgetown on a bad pass by Caleb Williams. And St. John's will slow it down. 4.5 to go. 2-point lead for the Red Storm. Darling has it. 10 to shoot. Right wing. Sannon thinks about a 3. Thinks better of it. Here's Ejiofor, top of the key. Sannon has it. Sannon puts it on the floor. Drives. Pulls up. Now he throws up a runner, and it's no good. Rebound bounced around and picked up by Georgetown. Mack will bring it up. Mack with a little bit of speed. Comes in the front court. All the way, and he loses it. Oh, picked his pocket. Darling has it. Darling with the steal. Left wing. Sannon from the same spot. Oh, and he missed it. That one too strong. And a whistle, and what are they going to call here? I think it's going to be Sannon. Oh, man. Wanted to shoot again from the same spot. Well, that was Sellers, actually. That was Sellers, not Sannon. That's my fault. That's my fault, fellas. But the ball out of bounds. 4:04 to go. 64-62. St. John's with the lead. And they will retain the ball here. Possession arrow to Georgetown if it gets to that point. Inbound. Here's Sannon from the right wing. No good, short. And the rebound grabbed by Mulready, and Georgetown has it. Down by 2. Here's Williams. Williams puts it on the floor. Right hand into the paint, and he's stripped by Sellers, and it's out of bounds off of Sellers. We'll stay right here. Georgetown basketball. 3:51 to go. Take a deep breath, fellas. 64-62 St. John's. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
Baseball is right around the corner. Warm weather, blue skies, and the crack of the bat. Spring training is here. Nobody covers the Yankees. Nobody covers the Mets like Locked Up Sports. Daily expert takes all season long the best baseball coverage on the internet.
I'm Bob Walters, host of Locked Up Sports, the best New York sports talk on the internet. Join myself and Brett Grasso every week, and we break down all the happenings from the best sports town in the world and have conversations with some of the biggest names in New York sports, including former Mets general manager Steve Phillips.
We need a star player, but let's go get Piazza, and I finally got approval to do it.
The man who revolutionized special teams in the NFL, Coach Mike Westhoff.
But, all the things that he got accused of, he did them all. I know. Trust me, I know. He did them all.
And New York sports talk legend Joe Beningo, just to name a few.
But they gave this guy $35 million a year, $350 million for 10 years. What the hell were they thinking with this guy?
Yeah. If you're a sports fan, this is the podcast for you. We have all the insights, laughs, and entertaining perspectives you crave. Whether you're looking for a funny take on your favorite team or informative and entertaining conversation, Locked Up Sports has you covered. Subscribe today for the most entertaining and informative sports podcast around. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
Back to the final whistle.
Don't go anywhere.
Stick around for the Locked Up Sports postgame show. Breakdowns, highlights, and the stories you can't miss. And tomorrow, we're back live to wrap up everything from the big game.
This isn't national sports talk. This is New York. And when it comes to their sports talk, they won't settle for anything less than the very best. That's why more New Yorkers get their sports talk from Locked Up Sports than anywhere else. The best New York sports talk on the internet.
You're listening to the
You're locked into Locked Up Sports, the internet home of the Big East Tournament. We'll take you from Selection Sunday through every bracket buster all the way to the Final Four. Keep it locked into Locked Up Sports for the...
All right, back at Madison Square Garden. St. John's with a 2-point lead, just under 4 minutes left in this one, as they try to just get out of here with a win on senior night, 64-62. They trailed most of the game, almost the whole game. They had a big run of about 3 minutes ago to take the lead. They've had the lead since, but it's been a small one at 2-3 points, back and forth. It got to 4, but that's the largest lead St. John has had. They're sitting at the 2 seed in the Big East tournament right now. They could obviously improve that if UConn gets a loss or they split the regular season championship. We'll see what goes on. Here's an inbound, and it goes all the way back. Georgetown inbounded all the way back almost to the other basket. Williams brings it up. 3:45 to go. 2-point lead for St. John's. Mack has it. Mack now with Williams. Williams puts it on the floor, guarded by Sannon. Drives into the paint, goes up and under, high off the glass, no good. Rebound, Sannon, and St. John's looks to extend the lead. 2-point lead right now. They can take it to 2 possessions. Dylan Darling with the ball. Sellers now to Sannon, back to Darling. 3:15 to go. 15 to shoot. Darling between the legs, looks, drives. Now he pulls it back out. Interior pass, Ejiofor all alone, and he lays it in with the left hand. Good cut by Zuby Ejiofor as he has led St. John's here tonight. He's got 23. 66-62. 4-point lead for St. John's. Georgetown with the ball. They desperately need a basket here as we go under 3 minutes to go. Williams has it, guarded by Sannon, way up top. Good defense by Sannon. Now he looks to switch, gets it over to the right wing. Here comes Mulready with a 3, and he got it. Kayvon Mulready with a 3, and it's a 1-point St. John lead. Georgetown just won't go away here in this one. They won't let St. John's pull away. Ejiofor with the ball. Top of the key for St. John's. 2:10 to go in the second half. Darling has it. Darling pulls up for 3. No good. Rebound. Ejiofor's got it. Ejiofor underneath the Sellers. Got it. On the lay-in. Beautiful pass by Zuby. And it's a 3-point St. John's lead. 68-65. 1:50 to go. Every possession important for Georgetown here down the stretch. Here's Mack. Mack pulls up for 3. Did he get it? No good. Back of the iron. Long rebound. And it's handled by Ibanyo. Has it. Darling now. Left wing. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell now. Sannon driving in. And he lays it in with the right hand. Untouched. 5-point lead for St. John's. 70-65. 5 straight points. Big time buckets for St. John's. A missed 3 at the other end by Georgetown. It's a 5-point lead, and now St. John's is in the driver's seat. Sannon all the way to the hole. He went untouched. Iwachukwu just kind of shied away from him on that one. He didn't want no part of it as he blew past him. Easy lay-in. And St. John's coming all the way back now with 90 seconds left in this one. A 5-point lead. Georgetown, that missed 3 on the other end was huge. They can't really come up with empty trips if you're Georgetown. Timeout here is by Georgetown. St. John's with 2 timeouts left as we'll reset it for you. 2 timeouts left for St. John's. They have the possession arrow. 5 team fouls only for St. John's, so they still have a couple fouls to give. Georgetown is St. John's shooting wise will be in the double bonus the rest of the way, as Georgetown has really had a lot of fouls in the second half. St. John's was shooting 1-on-1s just halfway through the second half. It's a 5-point lead. Looks like we got a decent amount of Georgetown fans listening to the game here. The inbound is knocked away by Sellers. They'll get to do it again with the inbound. Out of bounds on St. John's. So 1:29 left. We reset it for you. Possession arrow. I'm sorry, I said St. John's. It's Georgetown possession arrow. St. John's in the double bonus. with 2 fouls left to give. Again, they put pressure on the inbounder, gets it into Williams. Williams guarded by Sannon. Now to Mack. Mack will bring it up. 3 points only for Georgetown in the last 4 minutes plus. They've really gone ice cold. Here is Mulready. Mulready guarded by Dylan Darling. Gets it to Halafanuya. Halafanuya backing Ejiofor into the paint. Looks, fade away. Go, no good. Rebound to Georgetown. Inside to Mack. Mack fade away from the baseline. Got it. Oh, pretty shot by Malik Mack. It's a 3-point game. 70-67. Under a minute to go. 52 seconds left. Darling into the front court. Mitchell. Now Sannon. As St. John's going to take their time and a timeout called. With 48.1 to go, timeout St. John's, as they're going to talk it over. You can't turn the ball over here. If there's a rebound, Georgetown, if you're Georgetown, you got to get the defensive rebound. You cannot let St. John's get multiple chances here. St. John's is 21-2 over the last 2 years here at Madison Square Garden. It's the fourth largest, it's the fourth most in 2 seasons in their school history. They won 25 and 49 through 51. Back in the 50s, all 3 of them. So this is the best St. John's has played at Madison Square Garden in a 2-year period, since the late 50s. They now have a 3-point lead, 48.1 seconds on the clock, 21 seconds to shoot, so they could take almost, a little less than half of that off of this clock. That's why if there's a rebound, Georgetown, it's so important for Georgetown if they want to have a shot here to really grab a defensive rebound. St. John's is much improved in the second half with their play, with their shooting, with basically everything. St. John's is still only 40% from the field. Georgetown 48%. 6 of 27 from 3 for the Johnnies. 5 of 15 for Georgetown. The free throws have killed St. John's. They have not shot free throws very well, only 70%, but Georgetown not much better. Only 8 fouls by St. John's. So they've gotten, a friendly whistle, as a couple people here in the comments have made comments about the friendly whistles that St. John's has gotten in this one. Still fouls to give for St. John's, too, if it goes back to the other end. They could be aggressive trying to get the ball. 70-67. Final minute of the final game of the regular season here at Madison Square Garden for St. John's. They try and keep pace with UConn. Georgetown trying to be the spoiler. Darling has it on the inbound. Clock ticks down to 43, 42, 41 seconds. Darling looks, don't want to get a bad shot here. Gets it right wing now. Sellers back to Darling. He thinks about a 3. He takes it, and it's no good. Rebound. Oh, it's battled for on the ground. Who's got it? Georgetown's got it. They came away with it. Now it's ripped out of his hands by Ejiofor. It's going to be a held ball. Possession arrow, Georgetown. They will keep possession. But, St. John's had a chance at that rebound, and that would have just about done it, as they would have had to foul. 27 seconds left. Georgetown able to get their hands and hold on to that rebound just for a second, and then the tie-up by Ejiofor. But the possession arrow to Georgetown, they'll keep it. Down 3, 27 seconds left. 2 second. Here we go. Shot clock is off. Crowd on its feet. This could be the game right here. 15 to go. Driving into the paint. Williams goes, throws up a layup, and he got it. And the foul. Hopkins fouled him. Williams puts it in. And it's going to be shooting a free throw to tie it. Not what you want to do if you're St. John's. Let him get that basket if you're right there. He goes in. Hopkins. It's not a great call. It's not a hard foul. I don't want to hear anything from the Georgetown contingent here about getting the whistles and whatnot. That was touchy foul at this point of the game. Either way, it's called. And Williams, who had a brilliant first half, went down with a hamstring injury, came back, has a free throw to tie it with under 20 seconds left. 62% from the free throw line. Not exactly an automatic shooter. Bends his knees. Here comes the free throw. It is no good. He missed it. St. John's with the rebound. Oh, Williams blew it. He missed the free throw. Hopkins with the rebound. He's fouled immediately. And St. John's will go to the line to shoot a pair with 16.2 left. Oh, Williams. He's had such a good game, and he's just not a good free throw shooter. Off the back of the iron. Hopkins down with the rebound. And now he gets to try and make it at least a 3-point game again with 16 seconds left. And then St. John's, they could decide on their own there. Do they want to foul? Do they not want to foul? What do they want to do? Here's the free throw. Hopkins, first one, good. 71-69. This has turned out to be one hell of a basketball game here. Georgetown giving it everything they have. 5-13 on the season in conference. 13-16, 3 games under 500 overall. Giving St. John's 23-6, everything they got. Second free throw on its way is good. He hits them both. It's a 3-point game. 16 seconds to go. Williams going to bring it up. Williams to Mack now. Across into the front court. 10 seconds to go. Williams has it. Williams, left-hand dribble. Good defense by St. John's. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. Williams pump fakes the 3. Gets it out. Mulready puts it up. A long one. No good at the buzzer, and it's over. St. John's holds on, and they win it. 72-69. They survive Georgetown, and not a great game did they play in the first half. They played much better in the second half. And they survive with a 3-point victory. Williams with a chance to tie it. Missed the free throw. They got it back down 3. Mulready missed a long 3 from the top. And that does it. St. John's survives. And they are now tied with UConn atop the Big East. Woo! Hell of a game here from Madison Square Garden. Thank you to everybody who watched, who listened. Senior night here at the Garden. St. John survives 72-69. Mulready had a shot at it at 3. He played well. He missed it. And St. John's goes on Friday to Seton Hall for the finale of the regular season. And then it's the Big East tournament right back here at Madison Square Garden on March 11th through the 14th. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to give us a rating. Hit the subscribe button. Check out our podcast. You can find us anywhere you get your podcast, all social media, YouTube, and everywhere else that you look, and we'll be there. That does it for us here from the Garden. This has been St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports. A good one. St. John's holds on. They beat Georgetown 72-69. I'm Bob Walters. Talk to you later, everybody.
You're listening to St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.